When I was in the grammar school, I tried to kill my teacher. I got expelled, and I've been arrested and in jail 5-6 times. I did awful things, got in fights, beat up people, hurt people. I slept in my office. I slept on my couch. I didn't have an apartment. Not everybody's willing to make that sacrifice. You come in looking like some of you, I wouldn't give you toilet paper. When I was in the grammar school, I tried to kill my teacher, amongst other things. I got expelled, not from the school, but from the district. They wouldn't allow me to go to school in the district. And I've been arrested and in jail 5-6 times. But then I went into the military, and that straightened me out and made a man of me. I went off to the military, entered a private, came out 4 years later, an officer, and I was getting a big award in the military. And there was a 2-star general that was pinning something on my chest, and he said, you know, if you were in the real world, Danny, that's what they used to call me, I was a lieutenant, you could probably get rich. And a light bulb went off over my head. I had never thought of that before. I didn't know how much $1 million was, except for about that same time frame, one of the other young officers inherited $1.4 million, and he was buying all the officers' drinks in the officers' club. And I said, well, why is John buying us all drinks? He says, he just inherited $1 million. And I said, write it down for me. I'm 22 years old. And they put it with the zeros. I go, I didn't know how many zeros $1 million had. And then the general said that if you went out in the real world, Dan, you could probably make a lot of money. I then, within a week, I took action. I reversed my paperwork. I just put in paperwork to be a permanent military forever. And I reversed it to get out. I got out 5-6 months later. I came back, went back to school where I had to get special permission because I had flunked out 3 times out of university, and then I graduated ultimately with honors. And I wanted to go where the action was, and the action in those days, and this was in 1972, was on Wall Street. So I went to work for a Wall Street firm, and I was really good at it. 1, I was a good salesman. 2, I had learned to be articulate, and I had already self-confidence and self-esteem, and so those are a great combination for an investment banker in the early 70s. Bill Gates slept in the office. Steve Jobs slept in the office. And I can go down a whole list. Now, these are super successful, mega wealthy guys. I slept in my office. Not everybody's willing to make that sacrifice. If you want to send your kids to a better school, if you want to be able to take care of your mother when she gets dementia, if you want to, this all takes money. My children aren't getting any of my money when I die. I'm not going to, I think Andrew Carnegie, by the way, Andrew Carnegie, arguably the richest, most successful entrepreneur of all time, he said the best thing that you can have for a child is him to be born into poverty. And I agree. But most of you don't have, and I say generally speaking, most of you don't have faith in yourselves because you have low self-esteem, no self-confidence. You look like shit. You dress like shit. And you blame it on the 21st century, the reason why you dress the way you do. 25 years ago, if you come to a seminar like this, you'd all be wearing suit and tie. 40 years ago, the women would be wearing hats. This is my uniform. I don't go to sleep like this, but I mean, this is my uniform. It has been for a long, long, long time. If you want to get money from banks, dress like the president of your country. Dress like the president or the prime minister of your country. You only have one time to make a first impression, kids. You come in looking like some of you, I wouldn't give you toilet paper. Before I had any money, I used to go to the Rolls-Royce dealers and sit in the cars and smell the leather, touch the leather, okay? And these days, this is 40 years ago, I went to $1 million houses, and my wife and I would walk through the house, and they'd say, when are your parents getting here, kids? No, we are the buyers. Practice within when you're without. Dressing, thinking more of yourself, because self-esteem is the key to high performance. If we feel good about ourselves and we hang around with people, the average of the 5 people that we are mostly around is who we turn out to be. Practice being successful. How many people listening to this today practice being successful today? It's through affirmations, through going to the Rolls-Royce dealer, maybe Lamborghini, maybe something else. Right. In my particular case, it was Rolls-Royce. And within a year of me going to Rolls-Royce dealer, I had a Rolls. 19 months of me dreaming and adding it to my goals, a castle on an island. I own Guthrie Castle. Go to stores you can't afford. Go hire lawyers you can't afford. Lawyers will meet with anybody. Accountants will meet with anybody. Go to the big four accountants with a business idea. The first couple of meetings are for free. I didn't go to a good school. I'm a perfect living example that a lot of trouble as a kid, working class background, my parents. Went to just a mediocre university that I flunked out of 3 times before I finally graduated with honors, and had no money to begin with, $820. So it's all possible. But I devoted myself to feeling successful. I was wearing suits like this before I could afford them. Most of you don't like what they see, not just because you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're bald, you're gray, whatever. It's because you know what you could have been. When I was your age, I said, by the time I'm 80, I don't want these regrets. And now I'm 72. Shit, I should have said by the time I'm 90, because age, creeps up on you. And people ask me, are you happy? I said, yes. I've only got 3 regrets in my life, 3. 1, I'm a combat-trained Army officer who never saw combat. That's just the way it was during the Vietnam War. 2, I yelled at my mother the day before she died. I said, Mom, you're not sick. God damn it, you're not going to fucking die. Next morning, she's dead. And 3, I didn't set my goals high enough. Not because I missed my son's soccer ball. Not because I missed my daughter's prom. That's all rubbish. That's not what you say when you're about to die. And you whisper in your wife's ear or your son's ear or whoever's going to give the eulogy, I regret the things I didn't do. I coulda, I woulda, I shoulda. Do you think Elon Musk has work-life balance? No. Do you think Steve Jobs, when he was alive, had work-life balance? No. Do you think Bill Gates? No. Henry Ford? No. If none of those people that created the wealth of the world had work-life balance, why do you think you're going to have it? Why? Because you deserve it? I don't think so. You deserve what you get in life by working hard. You can do anything you want that you have passion for, because that eliminates most of the crap, because most people don't follow their dream. I still dream. I dream in Technicolor. I say my affirmations and goals every single night. Most people procrastinate because they're unsure, so just do it. But I've never had a problem just doing it, because one of the things is you learn as a young combat infantry officer is time costs lives. Just fucking do it.
Just